We will call to order our House Transportation Subcommittee. It is Tuesday, March the 10th, a minute or two after 12 o'clock. Mr. Clerk, if you could please open the board and we will take roll. Members, if you could make sure you're signed in and hit your blue button to allow us that you're in the room. All right. We'll note that the Chairman Wright is in the room. Mr. Clerk, could you please announce the roll?
Mr. Chairman, you have 10 members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk and members. Thank you very much for being here, everyone. If we could, any personal orders? Chairman Howell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to recognize my shadow, Liam Hawk, who's sitting back there with his aunt, Miss LaRonda Cochran, who is a teacher at Taylor Elementary. And Liam is my shadow today, and he is a 7th grader at Ocoee Middle School in Bradley County. Thank you.
Welcome. Let's give him a round of applause. Did you say H-A-W-K, Hawk? We might be related. You could be a cousin there. Representative Ashley, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to recognize Alan Blaylock, and I want to apologize to Charles, who I didn't see in the last in the Transportation Committee. I just want to welcome them to Nashville and to this committee today.
Thank you. Welcome. Representative Bain, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also have someone shadowing me, Jacob Brown, who is a student at the University of Texas. That's my school, University of Tennessee at Knoxville, misstep, and majoring in agricultural policy and law.
Welcome. Any other personal orders? See, we do have a calendar. There's going to be some situations that will arise as we go through the calendar. Representative Davis has come in, item number 14, and much like myself and others, there are 3 places we have to be at the moment. And committee, I'll look to you with or without objection. Should we let Representative Davis go? I'm saying without objection.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to go to item number 14 on our calendars, House Bill 1551. Representative Davis, you have your motion, you have your second. Any amendments on the legislation, ma'am?
Yes, Chairman, I have 013079.
Okay, and I see that it's a work with the Department of Safety on this particular issue. Drafting code 013079. I'll entertain a motion to, we have a motion, we have a second. Let's voice vote this. All those in favor of placing amendment drafting code 013079 on House Bill 1551, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill is amended. And you're ready for description.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being gracious and allowing me to come out of turn. Members, what this legislation does is a lot of individuals that leave incarceration, currently they're able to get like a photo ID. This allows for those that are in good standing to be able to have their driver's license restored to them. This helps in reducing recidivism because then they have the ability to drive to any sort of probation meetings, try to get a job, and also housing. And so with that, I stand ready for any questions.
Thank you. Vice Chairman Butler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to commend the sponsor for this. As somebody that supports folks that are trying to rehabilitate themselves, I appreciate this. This is something that will help them eliminate a step that will get not only an ID, but they'll get a driver's license if they meet the requirements. So I think this is a tremendous opportunity to equip folks to be successful when they get out of prison. And I appreciate the sponsor for bringing this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, because I know you have a heart for this issue. We've visited corrections before together, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Davis. Chairman Wright, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move previous question.
You put it on your microphone real quick there, sir.
Yep, my voice has gone away. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move previous question.
Previous question is called. All those in favor of sending House Bill 1551 to full Transportation Committee, please vote aye. Any opposed, please vote no. There, we got you logged in, Chairman Wright. Mr. Clerk, please announce the vote.
Mr. Chairman, you have 10 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. House Bill 1551, meeting full approval. You will go to full Transportation Committee.
Thank you, committee.
Thank you. We're going to go back to our calendars now and work through. We've got item number 1 on the calendars, and we will have some procedural measures that we're going to be taking on this, so bear with us. Item number 1 on the calendar is House Bill 1643 by Leader Lambert. The request has been to roll that bill 1 week without objection. House Bill 1643 rolled 1 week. Item number 2 on our calendars, House Bill 2094 by Chairman Powers. The request has been to roll this bill for 1 week without objection. House Bill 2094 will be rolled 1 week. We're now on item number 3 on our calendars, House Bill 2370 by Chairman Doggett. The request by Chairman Doggett's office is to roll this bill for 1 week without objection. We're on a roll here, committee. And I will remind committee members that next week will be our final calendar. So these bills will be placed upon our final calendar. So just a heads up as we're working on this. We're now ready for item number 4 on our calendars, House Bill 2609 by Chairman Hulsey. Chairman Hulsey, you have a motion. You have a second, sir. You are recognized on House Bill 2609. We have an amendment. What are your thoughts on this piece of legislation, Chairman Hulsey? What would you like to do, sir?
2609.
2609.
I believe that if I could ask you to roll that to next week, if I could do that.
Okay.
You were on a roll till I stepped out in the middle of the road and I've screwed everything up here. Now I'm confused myself, so I'm sorry.
All right, so we're still rolling. The request has been item number 4, House Bill 2609, to roll till next week without objection. House Bill 2609 roll till next week. We're now on item number 5 on our calendars, House Bill 2612 by Chairman Hulsey. Chairman Hulsey, you have a motion. You have a second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I got an amendment that makes this bill.
All right, I think I see drafting code 012871. Is that accurate, sir?
That's not what I have. I have 011726.
Okay. All right, sir. We have some discrepancies. I think you just might have read off the bill number by chance.
011726. You have 012871. Is that what you said?
Yes.
I got that too, but I didn't want to use it, but I'll take it. Yeah, there you go.
All right. So we've got a motion on amendment drafting code 012871. Make sure we're all on the same page here. This is to House Bill 2612. Have a motion. We have a second. Ready to vote? All those in favor of placing this amendment, which will rewrite the bill, on for discussion purposes, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill is amended with drafting code amendment 012871. And you're ready for discussion.
Okay.
Chairman Hulsey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since we instituted a real ID, and this is in 2 parts. You're going to hear this part today, and then what I rolled is for next week. But people have been confused a lot of times because DMV folks seem to be a little confused about issue. I have people that tell me, and you have too, they walk in the door and they're told you have to get a real ID. If they want to renew the old driver's license, they've been told you can't renew your old driver's license. You got to get a real ID. Well, there's people who don't like a real ID, and people don't want a real ID. They just want a regular driver's license. So what this bill does, it just kind of puts down in code and transparency for what the DMV's got to do when people walk in the door. It ensures every driver that a licensed applicant is clearly informed of the choice between real ID and a non-real ID. Applicants will receive a standardized printed explanation outlining the documentation requirements, allowable uses, and embedded technology for each license type before they make their selection. By requiring a signed acknowledgement, the bill creates a clear record that applicants were informed and made affirmative decisions. So they're going to check on the box. Yep, you told me, and yes, this is what I picked. Posting a prominent statement on the department's website that Real ID is optional reinforces public awareness beyond the licensing counter. And providing consistent written information promotes informed decision-making and reduces confusion about identifying requirements. This approach advances accountability and clarity in state licensing practices while preserving flexibility for Tennessee drivers. So in summary, the bill requires driver's license stations to clearly inform applicants that obtaining a Real ID is an option by providing a printed explanation of the differences between Real ID and non-Real ID and the documentation required for each, their permitted uses, and the technology they contain, while ensuring applicants can affirmatively choose their preferred credential and that the department's website prominently reflects this choice. So that's what it does.
Thank you, Chairman Hulsey. And again, just to reiterate, so it's a notification, just making sure that everyone in the public knows that they do not have to have a Real ID, that
Yes.
it is certainly optional, which we've had discussions over the last couple of years, the optional nature of that. So it makes perfect sense
Yeah.
that, and just to reaffirm that through websites and all.
Yeah.
Representative Renaud, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, sponsor, for the bill. I also have said many times before, what I've heard from lots of people who have this issue. Would you care to share with us some of the reasons why people, why it's a problem that people can't object out of a Real ID without ease?
Chairman
Ask me the-
Hulsey, you're recognized.
Okay, ask me, I'm sorry, ask me the back part of that question again.
Representative Renaud, you're recognized.
Thank you. I was just asking if you could share with the committee the reasons why someone might want to opt out of Real ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chairman Hulsey.
Okay, there are a lot of folks, including me, who believe the Real ID system is a forerunner to a national digital ID, and it scares them to death. They don't like all their biometrics stored. They don't like all their personal information loaded down in categories that can be shared and used in other places. And, you know, it's interesting to me that this legislature here, when Real ID first came up, they did a resolution saying we're not for this 18 years ago or 20 years ago. And it rode in on a horse through GovOps, I think is how it got here. I said, I never voted for that. And I was told, oh, yes, you did. And sure enough, I did. It came in on a GovOps package. And people actually are worried about, they do not want that kind of information on a digital system, and they're fearful of it, and they want to keep their regular driver's license. And you can get on an airplane with a passport or visa. So there's folks that insist, and we need to keep that option always open in this state, which you'll see that in my next bill.
Thank you, Chairman Hulsey. Representative Renaud.
Thank you for that. I have heard from many people who have had this issue and had this experience with my teen getting her permit, where they automatically issued the permit with the star. And so I was not given that option when we went back in to get her license to opt out. I had to demand it. And there was paperwork that had to be done. It was a little bit dragged out and cumbersome, just the resistance for it. So I thank you for this. I think people really should have that option.
Thank you. Representative Pearson, you're recognized.
Question on the bill.
Question has been called. Seeing no objection. All those in favor of sending House Bill 2612 as amended to Full Transportation Committee, please vote aye. When it's on your board now, please vote yes. Any opposed, please vote no. Mr. Clerk, can you please announce the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 9 ayes, 1 no.
House Bill 2612, receiving an affirmative vote, moves forward to full transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee.
Thank you, Chairman Hulsey. We're now ready for item number 6 on our calendar, House Bill 2058 by Representative Towns. Representative Towns, you got what sounded like a
Good question.
You got a first motion and you got a second motion. So in terms of parliamentary procedure, you're recognized on House Bill 2058 with the first and second.
Double recognized. Thank you, members, for that. Let me just give you a little background, then tell you what the chairman and I have decided to do. You all remember when Shelby County had this bridge and we found that crack, okay? Accidentally, they found that crack, kayakers or whatever. Thank God they did, you know. Somebody go over a body of water, I'm always a little conscious, you know. And so what it revealed is that just how unprepared we are if you have one bridge. We lost so much money. The state lost so much money. The country lost so much money. It's amazing. Now, and so, but what we're doing now with the good work of the Transportation Committee and our good folk in Washington, D.C., and our team here, we're repairing one of our bridges, bringing it up to code, bringing it up to date. However, I want you all to be mindful that we live on a fault line down there. Okay? There's a fault line down there. Thank God nothing's happened. Pray to God nothing happens in the near future, 100 years, 200 years. But it exists. It does exist. So think about when people have to run for their lives. You got to run for your life. You know, one bridge won't do it. If something happens at one bridge, you got only one bridge. So what we're trying to do is to make sure we do a study. I think how it's going to come out to, justify what we need. When Buttigieg was there, some of our people talked to those guys and they said they would do whatever we want to do. However, what we want to do is not to have any confusion as it relates to our current situation. We need that bridge as well. And so with that, I'd love, from talking with the leader, to have this thing put in a TASA study, okay? And I'm going to defer to the chairman, Mr. Chairman Hawk. I'm going to defer to Chairman Howell.
Thank you, Representative Towns. I'm going to refer to Chairman Howell as well. So Chairman Howell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. And let me say, Representative Towns, how much I appreciate you keeping this issue in the forefront. You've been promoting this third bridge. Thank God we are getting a second one now called King's Crossing, which is a great idea and a great name, by the way. But you and I have talked about this, and in the interest of keeping this in the forefront of conversation and the public mind, my suggestion in talking to TDOT, and there has been conversations with the director of TASER, that if you would consider taking your bill off notice, then TASER has agreed that they will roll this into the current study that they're doing now, which I think will give it more legs than just passing a bill. So that would be my suggestion, Mr. Chairman. And if the sponsor wants to take his bill off notice, I will make that motion that we recommend that TASER include this in their current study.
Representative Towns.
Mr. Chairman, you couldn't have been said any better than from the chairman. I'd love to take it off notice and to allow it to be rolled into TASER. We get down to brass tacks and figure out how we're going to protect our state and our city down there. So I'd love to take it off notice.
Okay. Thank you. In hearing what the Chairman Howell has suggested, the conversation with TASER will continue. And Representative Towns, thank you very much. I will say, looking quite good these days. Looks like you lost a pound or two. So
trying to show it off too. Actually 40. That's right. Thank you, members.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Without objection, House Bill 2058 is off notice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We're now on item number 7 on the calendars. House Bill 1713. Representative Shaw, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. We appreciate you. House Bill 1713 started out with the idea of trying to get permission from safety to allow tow trucks to use blue lights only when loading a vehicle on side of the interstate. But that seems to be a problem with safety, and I understand it because some people do abuse blue lights at time. However, I asked that we could change that to something else, maybe like a green light or whatever. I don't think they have a problem with that. Matter of fact, they may already be able to use green lights. But the problem with tow truck owners now is getting people to pull over. Pullover law, nobody pays any attention to the pullover law unless they see a blue light. And that's getting to be a real problem. Now, I really wanted to get an amendment filed, and I didn't get a chance to change this to the fact that if they didn't want tow trucks to have one, that they would have to assist tow trucks while loading vehicles on the interstate, because it really is a problem. However, with the situation being as it is, your committee is going to close, I assume.
Soon.
Will I have time to get an amendment by next week to change this to troopers assisting tow trucks while loading cars on the interstate?
We would entertain certainly a motion, an amendment. I will inform you that the Senate version, the companion Senate version, has not been placed on the Senate Transportation Committee for consideration. And I believe their last calendar was published last week, and their last calendar is scheduled for tomorrow. So I will, Representative Shaw, I'm happy to, let me check with folks. I was going to say to roll this bill for 1 week. Let me make sure that we've got a roll and the posture would be good. All right. We do have a roll. Representative Shaw, you're recognized.
That would be fine with me. I like that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. At the request of the sponsor and without objection, as he's working on some amendatory language, and I would encourage you to check with your Senate sponsor as well. House Bill 1713 will be rolled for 1 week without objection. We are now on your bill, item number 8. Representative Shaw, House Bill 1714. Do we have a motion? We have a second. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And what this bill would do, and I was informed by the Department of Transportation that they already had a yellow dot. I didn't know that. This bill was asking for a blue envelope for intellectual disability drivers to insert all of the information in, so that when they are stopped by a trooper or any other law enforcement, all of their information would be in a blue envelope, and that would inform that law enforcement person that this person had intellectual disabilities. And I just want to make a comment here. What kind of got me a little bit upset was that transportation say they have a yellow dot, but I never heard of it. And I'm just making a statement that we need to enforce transportation to inform the public about that yellow dot, because a lot of people with intellectual disabilities get stopped and law enforcement don't know about it, and it creates a problem. Matter of fact, we've had that problem just recently, as you know, and so I want to take this bill off notice, but I do want to make the statement that transportation needs to publicize their yellow dot if they got one.
Before we entertain that request off notice, Chairman Howell would like to have the floor for a moment. Chairman Howell, you're recognized.
Thank you. And thank you, sponsor. I appreciate your concern, but I believe the yellow dot comes under the purview of the Department of Safety and not Transportation. I believe it's safety that has that.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think you're correct. I stand corrected. I think you're right. Yes. But I just think, if I may be recognized, I just think that it's important that they publicize that if they've got the yellow dot, because I know a lot of people with intellectual disabilities have been driving and they get stopped and law enforcement don't know it, and it creates some other problems.
Yeah. Representative Shaw, thank you very much. And I think similar posture to what we were talking about with Chairman Hulsey's bill earlier as well. Just notification. The public needs to know about these good programs that we've got. I'm a sponsor, co-sponsor of, as are several folks in the subcommittee, co-sponsor of this legislation, and we certainly see the value. But I understand where we need to be in terms of if we've got a program that does the same thing, let's promote that and make sure folks know. Representative Atchley, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I support this bill. If you don't take it off notice, I'm going to vote for it. I have someone from back home, a member of the sheriff's office that's on the committee. And I cannot explain exactly how the committee's set up, if it's through the governor's office or how, but it deals with this. And I've had several calls in support of this bill. And somebody that has personally witnessed this type, and I have a child that's developmentally delayed. If she's ever able to drive, she would need this. So I want to thank you for bringing this.
Thank you. Closing comments, Representative Shaw.
Could I just request a roll and talk to safety and see if we can make sure that they are going to publicize their yellow dot? If not, I want to run this one and make sure we get the blue envelope.
Thank you. And happy to do that as well to give you that. This bill is in the same posture as your prior bill in the Senate that has not been placed on the last calendar in the Senate. So similar posture there, but certainly I think we've got a roll available. Representative Shaw, without objection, we will roll House Bill 1714 to the next calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. We are now ready for item number 9 on our calendars, House Bill 1739 by Representative Shaw. You have a motion, you have a second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. Now, this bill, of course, has been agreed upon. All parties have agreed. And what this legislation is, forward is asking for this legislation to allow local law enforcement agencies to patrol their campus and to be able to write ticket violations, traffic violations, so forth and so on, along with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. But what Forward is asking for, they have agreed in a memorandum with the local law enforcement officers that if there's not a Tennessee Highway Patrol around, that a local law enforcement officer could write a ticket on the campus of Blue Oval City. That has been agreed upon by all parties. It doesn't mean the Highway Patrol cannot go on there, but if they're not around, the local law enforcement could handle it until they get there. And with that comment, I would ask for motion and approval.
Thank you, Representative Shaw. We have an amendment on the legislation drafting code 014317. Do you have that, sir?
I do have that. Yes, sir.
All right. Motion is second, and the amendment accomplishes what you just explained
Yes, sir.
to us, sir.
It really makes the bill.
We're going to do a voice vote on that. All those in favor of placing amendment drafting code 014317 on the bill, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill is amended. Any questions or comments on the legislation? Seeing that, we will open the board. All those in favor, please vote yes. Any opposed, please vote no. Mr. Clerk, could you please announce the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 8 ayes, 2 noes.
House Bill 1739 meeting affirmative vote. We'll move to full transportation committee.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you next week, Representative Shaw. Glad to have you here. We are now going to jump to item number 15 on our calendars. Item number 15 is by Representative Freeman. I'll give the members a moment or two to get to that spot in your calendars. Again, we're going to be on item number 15, House Bill 2302. And when you're ready, when you find it, I will entertain a motion if anyone would like to make a motion. We have a motion. We have a second. Representative Freeman, I think you have some amendatory language on this. We've got a couple different ones. I think the latest one may be,
Drafting code 14762 is the one
There
I'd
we
like to
go.
put on there, and it makes the bill.
we have a motion, we have a second. All right. In order for conversation on this piece of legislation, let's go ahead and put a voice vote, drafting code amendment 014762. All those in favor of placing this on the bill, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill is amended and ready for explanation, sir.
Thank you, Chairman and committee. Members, we are in some pretty amazing times. Technology is advancing at a pace that a few years ago would be unimaginable. We are currently seeing the expansion of driverless and autonomous vehicles across our state. And anybody who has seen videos has seen those same autonomous vehicles stopping on railroad tracks, driving through school zones, driving through police stops and standoffs, ignoring police hand gestures, stopping people. And the current law, because we have contemplated our law not with the understanding or expectation of autonomous vehicles, but the current law does not allow for us to ticket these vehicles. So we have vehicles that are breaking laws, and if there is nobody in there driving it, who gets the ticket? Is it the passenger? Representative, is it you in the back? I think we should create a mechanism in which we can send a ticket to the company that owns this vehicle. So what this does is it gives us the ability to mail a ticket to the company that owns the vehicle. I know that safety has reached out saying that they don't have an readily available way to mail a ticket to someone. And I fully respect them and respect that answer, but I think we owe it to the people of Tennessee to ask them to figure that out. If it's a licensed vehicle, that vehicle has to be licensed with an address. That is a very easy thing to find. I know police officers can pull up, they can run plates, they can find where people live. This is going to be even easier because you don't have the transient ability of the driver not updating their driver's license. This is going to be where it's registered. And with that, I stand ready to answer any questions.
Thank you, Representative Freeman. This is a proactive bill.
Yes,
We're
sir.
not seeing many autonomous vehicles, but they are a-coming. Times they are a-changing.
Well, sir,
You're recognized.
I see them all over in my neighborhood. They are being tested right now, getting ready to be fully released into the wild, if you will. And I think that we should put some guardrails here. So
Thank you. Questions from the committee. By the way, Chairman Hawk had to leave to run a bill, so you're going to have to live with me for a while.
it's a fine replacement, sir.
Representative Vice Chairman Butler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the intent of the bill. As we all know, the technology is improving. I have some concerns with the autonomous vehicles. I'm not against them. I'm not against the technology. And I appreciate you being proactive in this situation. I do have some other questions that I'll just put on the record. Is how do you address an autonomous vehicle? Let's say the license plate fell off. I mean, it happens from time to time. How would law enforcement be able to identify that vehicle? If there's a type of breakdown or something, how do we address those issues with these autonomous vehicles? Now, I know you're addressing, I agree with what you're doing. I support the bill. I just have more questions on how we're going to address the bigger picture with autonomous vehicles. And as the chairman said, this is proactive, and many times government is reactive. So I appreciate you being proactive to solve a problem before it's overwhelming us.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. And that's actually a great question. The legislation is silent to that, but I would assume it would be exactly the same as if you were driving down the road and your license plate fell off. It actually is even more difficult for law enforcement to do anything about it because they can stop you and charge you. They could stop me if I'm driving your vehicle without a license plate. I am responsible for it. what this is saying is that we are allowing a computer to drive a vehicle that is not responsible to anybody in the state of Tennessee. And so while I think that could be a problem, I'm happy to run a bill next year that talks about autonomous vehicles that don't have a driver or license plate. What this does is simply allow us to hold these companies accountable and do some ticket. Again, do a quick search and you will find tons of examples of these vehicles that have done stuff that if you and I were to do it, we'd get pulled over and get a ticket. And today, there's no accountability. And that's ultimately what this is. This is an accountability bill that's being proactive before we get too far along. And we have a lot of problems across our state that we are going to get calls about and we can't do anything about.
Follow up?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I agree. If we don't do something like this, I mean, how would an autonomous vehicle know it's getting pulled over? I mean, I don't know how you even address that issue yet, and then we may get the technology to do that.
Well, therein lies the problem. What this would allow is for the law enforcement to be able to cite that ticket and send them a ticket. We've got a whole nother problem if we have Terminator vehicles driving around our state without the ability to stop them. Again, that's silent to this, but what this is doing is it's holding them accountable. And if we don't do something and that vehicle doesn't stop, or that vehicle does drive through a police stop, or that vehicle does drive through a school zone, we have no recourse. We have no recourse whatsoever. And again, I would love to, bring legislation next year that does something. But what this does is actually very narrow and just allows us to send traffic violations and citations to the owners of the vehicle, so we can in fact hold someone accountable.
One follow-up.
Follow-up?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last question. So the fines that the autonomous vehicle would get are the same fines that any other driver would get. So it's going to be fair across the board.
You're right.
Exactly the same. There's no new traffic code. There's no new traffic violations. These are the same fines and violations that you or I or anybody on this committee, with the exception of some that would never break the law, would do. And it just allows us to have mechanisms through which to actually submit that fine to somebody.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Representative Renaud.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the bill. I'm just wondering if this doesn't go far enough. If an autonomous vehicle gets 5 tickets, at what point can we retire that vehicle off the road?
You recognize.
Same mind here. That was actually my first round of it, and it just went too far because there's the idea of changing software, and does the ticket reset with the software because they learned the lesson. Really, again, my intent here is for us to be able to make them take notice if it's not following and doing what we think it should, and they're breaking traffic by making traffic violations, that we can penalize them, and they have some skin in the game where they're going to have to go, oh, maybe we should revise our software to better look for school crossing zones or school speeds, whatever it may be. But we get to have the ability to make them pay attention to us. Yeah, thank you for the question.
Representative McAlvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and sponsor, thank you for bringing this bill again. I certainly appreciate being proactive in government. You mentioned, I wanted to take a step back, and you mentioned the Department of Safety having some issues with it having no system in order to effectively get these citations out. Would they be, and you may have had this conversation, the effective date is upon the governor's signature should it pass on the House floor. If you were to change the effective date on it to give the department some additional time to come up with a system, do you think that they would be more open to that? I don't know if anybody from safety is here.
I mean, I'd be happy to have that discussion and have an amendment drafted in full to change the effective date, which I think would be a fairly nominal change to the bill and not required to have to come back. But I think it sends a good message that we are serious about this to pass this on and work with safety to help work through that. I fully appreciate what they do and their comments, but we have the ability to send letters to folks for abandoned vehicles. I mean, so there is some mechanism that's there. But I'm happy to have that conversation. Yeah, thank you. And that's a great idea.
Thank you, Representative McAlvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And sponsor, I would agree with you. I think that does give some assuming this gets passed all the way through, it does give them some time to implement. Good.
I was just told safety is now deferred. So we've won here, guys. Good
There you
work.
go. So I
did it.
retract my previous statements, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman Russell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just curious, how is this similar to red light tickets where those are mailed out?
Representative Freeman.
It's got to be a person. You got to have someone write a ticket. They've got to see it for themselves. And so that's the difference.
And so
Chairman
it's the same concept. Somebody witnesses it, a person reviews the violation, and they send it out to a person. And on this one, they send it out to a company.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You recognized.
Yeah. In your past life, if you were to see a traffic violation, you would pull that person over. There'd be an actual physical human being driving the vehicle that you would then take their driver's license and issue them a citation. In the not so, future here, not so far away future here, we're going to have vehicles without drivers. And so that same, in your same past life, you would be able to see that violation, take the license plate and issue a violation through the mail.
Chairman Russell.
So I think the concept is already there with red light cameras as far as mailing tickets out. I think that we can use that way of doing things to do it, this too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chairman Butler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've just, as my colleague over here suggested, I think we maybe could amend the legislation to say if you register a autonomous vehicle, you have to provide contact information such as an email address or something where you could receive that ticket and make it electronic instead of actually having to mail it. Just offer that as a potential solution.
I stand at the will of the committee, happy to take any friendly amendment. I just want to make sure that we can have some meaningful impact on these autonomous vehicles. I've seen too many movies.
All right. Thank you for your indulgence for allowing me to go across the hallway for a moment. Thank you. Any further questions on the legislation? Are you ready to vote? All those in favor of sending House Bill 2302 to full Transportation Committee, please vote yes. Any opposed, please vote no. Mr. Clerk, can you please announce the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
Representative Freeman, House Bill 2302 goes to full Transportation Committee with the amendment and understanding we may even be working on some more amendments.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee.
Without objection. We are now going back on our calendar to item number 10. And if you'll allow me to get caught back up. All right. Item number 10 on our calendar is House Bill 1830. And the request has been to roll 1 week. That'll roll into this committee. Without objection, item number 10, House Bill 1830 by Mitchell is rolled 1 week. We're now on item number 11 on our calendars, House Bill 1891 by Representative Hemmer. Representative Hemmer, you have a motion, you have a second. You are recognized, sir. Do you have an amendment, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Give us that drafting code, please.
I will. It is...
I have 013619. We'll see if those corroborate.
Yes, sir.
All right. Chairman McCalman? Oh, okay. Yeah. Do I hear a motion on the amendment? Motion and a second. We'll do a voice vote. All those in favor of sending or amending this bill by amendment drafting code 013619, please say aye. Any opposed, please say no. Your bill is amended. You're ready for explanation of House Bill 1891.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. House Bill 1891 amends several sections of Tennessee motor vehicle laws to expand and modernize the driver education alternative for traffic offenses. Specifically, what the bill is doing is when a person is charged with a speeding ticket, they can register for a Department of Safety approved driver education course online instead of appearing in court or paying the fees it costs alone. If the person successfully completes the course online within 90 days, then the points can be removed from the speeding conviction from the individual's driver's record with a cap of 5 points that can be removed. It also requires the courts to make online registration for such courses available via the Department of Safety website, and these provisions take effect July 1st, 2026. I was grateful to work on this amendment with the court clerks and get feedback from the Department of Safety, Chief of Police, and the administrative offices of the courts. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions about the bill.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Chairman McCalvin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and just wanted to get the sponsor on record. Mr. Sponsor, are you bringing this piece of legislation to because you've gotten too many tickets and you want to make it easier to? Can you shine some light on that, please, sir?
Representative Hemmer, I will remind you that you can invoke the fifth if you need to. So, Representative Hemmer, you're recognized.
I would hate to say it was on behalf of some constituent, but it actually hit here and dear close to home to two individuals. Actually, our Senate sponsor had one of our legislative staffers here was going to a UT game and got a ticket and ended up having to drive 2 hours just to get the online registration. And then I was heading to one of my communities this summer and I was going a little too fast. I got the ticket, but then I learned that through this, there's a lot of court clerks that don't have websites. And in the same county, different jurisdictions, some of the communities I can sign up online and do it, and some I actually have to go to court to do this. And so we just thought this is, people have to take off work. It's a lot of money. If you're eligible to if you get a misdemeanor, you're eligible for a speeding course, you should be able to just sign up online. So this is really all this is really doing is just modernizing this, making it easier for folks to be able to do their driver's courses if eligible.
Thank you. The first time I've ever offered a sponsor of legislation, the Fifth Amendment. So you're special. Representative Renault, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for this. I can see why this would be needed, but I'm curious. So there is still an in-person way to take a course. If somebody couldn't do it online, let's say they didn't have access to online, there would still be a way for them in person to also do it?
Representative Hemmer.
Yes, that'd be up to the individual court clerks, individual communities. This is just creating a mechanism. So right now how it works is Department of Safety has a whole list of department approved online safety courses. And so typically what the judges or the court clerks are doing is just pointing you to that. You're able to take those courses, get the certificate of completion. There's an upload to the Department of Safety. So all the systems are in place. It's just basically on the front end. Like I said, there were some county clerks, court clerks that don't even have websites. So we're just modernize this to allow people not to have to go to court first and the judge say, you can have this. It's just creating a mechanism for them to just sign up online if that is the purview of the court clerks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Are you ready to vote? All those in favor of sending House Bill 1891 to full transportation committee, please vote yes. Any opposed, please vote no. Mr. Clerk, can you please announce the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
House Bill 1891 moves forward to full transportation committee.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're now ready for item number 12 on our calendars, House Bill 1168 by Chairman Vital. Chairman Vital, you have a motion, you have a second. Understand that you've got an amendment for this legislation. Is that accurate, sir?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman. Amendment number 013755.
Well, that's one. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of placing House Amendment 013755 on the bill, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no. Your bill is amended and you're recognized as amended on House Bill 1168.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, this amendment transforms House Bill 1168 into a study bill working with TASER to perform an evaluation of autonomous vehicle technology. The goal is to provide the General Assembly with data-driven recommendations for future regulation of autonomous cars, trucks, and vehicles. This study will examine AVs in both public and commercial capacities, including interstate commerce, passenger transportation, and food delivery. The report will investigate potential state and local revenue streams from licensure and enforcement. All relevant state departments and agencies will work together to help TASER gather this information. This will help us be proactive in our planning as we look to the future with autonomous vehicles. Thank you for your consideration, and I'm open to questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for the sponsor? Seeing none, we'll open the voting. All those in favor of House Bill 1168 as amended go into full transportation, please vote yes. Any opposed, please vote no. Mr. Clerk, could you please announce the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 8 ayes, 1 no.
House Bill 1168 receiving an affirmative vote will move forward to full transportation committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members.
Thank you. We're now on item number 13 on the calendars, House Bill 2244 by Representative Hurt. The request has been to take this bill off notice. Seeing no objection, House Bill 2244 off notice. We're now on we have disposed of item number 14 on our calendars. We have disposed of item number 15 on our calendars. We're now on item number 16 on our calendars. Item number 16 is House Bill 1790. Keeping with the theme, we are rolling this for 1 week. House Bill 1790 by Sparks rolled 1 week. We are now ready for item number 17, House Bill 2474 by Representative Lankford. The request on this bill has been to roll for 1 week without objection. We are now on item number 18, House Bill 1817 by Chairman Russell. Chairman Russell, you have a motion, you have a second. I think we are entertaining a potential amendment drafting code 014600. Is that correct, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's what I got, 14600.
Okay. Let's go ahead. We have a motion, we have a second. It's going to rewrite the bill. So let's go ahead and place that on with a voice vote. All those in favor of placing amendment drafting code 014600 on the bill, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill is amended for discussion. Chairman Russell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee, House Bill 1817 as amended will say an officer that deems a person during the course of a safety inspection is unable to read and speak English language sufficiently to converse with the general public, to understand highway traffic signs and signals, or to respond to official inquiries while driving a commercial vehicle, will be placed out of service. And then somebody would have to come and drive that commercial vehicle that speaks and understands English.
Thank you. You've heard the explanation. Any questions or comments for the sponsor? Representative Bain, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A quick question. So earlier, I believe last session or the bill we heard around CDL licenses or taking away CDL licenses and criminally prosecuting those. Does this bill then create a process so non-English speaking individuals that have CDL licenses can eventually restore their licenses, and it also penalizes their employers? Is that correct?
Chairman Russell.
They can restore it. They have to go take a test, and this is not to penalize any employers. We took that part out.
Okay.
Representative Bain.
But to clarify, it's the process in which non-native speaking, non-English speaking CDL license holders can restore their license is the essence of this bill. Is that correct?
Chairman Russell.
So this came to me because some truck wrecks across the Coker Creek Mountain on Highway 68 in Monroe County, and law enforcement officers would arrive and couldn't communicate with the drivers. And so this would place those drivers out of service until they can find a driver that can drive a truck further down the road. And the ones that are placed out of service would have to go back and retest to get their driving abilities reinstated.
Representative Bain.
Sorry, just one more. So in action, if someone's not speaking English and they're pulled over by a state trooper, I guess what immediately happens to them, and how does the bill reconcile that?
Chairman Russell.
Good question. This is how come it came about too, is because whenever a commercial vehicle driver is pulled over, it's an 80,000 pound big truck or anything that's classified as a commercial vehicle, they're placed out of service because they cannot communicate. And then somebody else that can drive the vehicle would come and take that vehicle on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll open the board for vote. All those in favor of sending House Bill 1817 to full transportation as amended, please vote yes. Any opposed, please vote no. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change your vote? Mr. Clerk, can you please announce the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 7 ayes, 1 no.
House Bill 1817 as amended moves to full Transportation Committee with a positive vote. Now we are ready for item number 19 on our calendars. House Bill 1832. The request has been to take that off notice. So House Bill 1832 off notice. We are now on item number 20 on our calendars, House Bill 1751 by Chairman Howell. Chairman Howell, you're recognized, sir. Chairman, I think we have your motion every second. I think we've got an amendment that's going to make the bill.
I believe that's correct. I believe all of the individual amendments were requested to be rolled into one amendment, if I'm not mistaken.
Second.
All right. We're going to have a motion on the amendment. The drafting code for this, and forgive me, it's in our electronic system, is 014767. As the chairman stated, this will be the omnibus amendment for those plates that have gone into that. We have a motion. We have a second on drafting code 014767. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill is amended and ready to go, sir.
Thank you very much, Chairman. This, of course, is the Transportation Annual Omnibus Bill of naming of roads and bridges. This year we have 61 amendments, which has been brought to my office by the various legislative colleagues in the House, and I would request passage.
All right. You've heard the explanation. Any questions or comments? We'll open the voting. All those in favor of sending House Bill 1751 as amended to full transportation, please vote yes. Any opposed, please vote no. Mr. Clerk, can you please announce the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
House Bill 1751 receiving an affirmative vote will go forward to full transportation. We are now ready for item number 21 on our calendar. House Bill 1752 by Chairman Howell. Chairman Howell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Members, this House Bill 1751 is the annual transportation omnibus bill for specially licensed plates. This year, there is a total of 50 amendments for specially licensed plates. They continue to grow every year, so I would request passage.
Chairman, I think an explanation, this may be the bridge naming. Is that accurate? Is this the highway?
Roads and bridges.
Roads
Yes.
and bridges.
Yes.
So just want to make sure that the explanation does fit the caption, and I believe that's where we are right there. All right, and there is an amendment.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I think there is a typo in my documents, so you're correct.
No worries, Chairman. We've got drafting code amendment 014752 will be the omnibus amendment that will include all of our highway and bridge namings. We have a motion. We have a second. Let's do a voice vote. All those in favor of placing House Amendment drafting code 014752 on the House Bill 1752, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Your bill is amended, sir, and I think you've given us a description. Any more questions or comments from members? All right. We'll open the voting. All those in favor of sending House Bill 1752 as amended to full transportation, please vote aye or vote yes. Any opposed, please vote no. Any member wish to change your vote? Mr. Clerk, could you please announce the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
House Bill 1752 receiving a positive vote will go forward to full transportation. Last item on our calendars today, I said that with excitement in my voice, is item number 22, House Bill 1754 by Chairman. Chairman Howell, you have your motion, you have your second. I think you've got some amendatory language as well, Chairman Howell.
That is correct. And legal may have to help me, but I think 015430.
Chairman, I'm
Is
looking at
that
013721.
Yes,
There may be
I
a
have that
second.
one as well.
Okay.
And then I was given another one that is there two amendments that was rolled into one? Legal, I may ask legal that question.
We'll pause just a second there, Chairman. And
This one was handed me just before I left for committee, 15430. But I'll go with 13721 if that's all right with the committee. Oh, I have a second amendment. I do have a second amendment. That's what I thought. 15430.
Okay.
Second.
All righty. Procedurally, Chairman, as we're recognizing House Bill 1754, we're going to call for amendment to come up first. The amendment drafting code 013721, which is going to rewrite your original bill, establishes the Tennessee Certificate of Title for Vessel Acts.
Yes.
So we're gonna recognize that amendment first. I think I heard a motion and a second. All those in favor of placing amendment drafting code 013721 on the bill, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say no. The amendment goes on the bill. Just a moment there, Chairman. All right, Chairman. And the amendment that had been handed to you that creates a deletion of one of the subsections
Yes.
that you have in your hand is amendment drafted code 015430. Is
That's
that
what I have.
accurate?
That's what I have, yes.
Okay. I will entertain a motion on that. We have a motion. We have a second. We'll do a voice vote on this. All those in favor of placing amendment drafting code 015430 on the bill, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no. The bill is amended, and you are now ready for explanation with the two amendments. Chairman Howell.
Thank you, Chairman. And members, this bill was brought to me by Senator Hatcher, who is my senator. So we share a district. So it impacts my district too. Tennessee is in the top 10 states for boat theft and boat fraud. We're a destination state for stolen boats that are brought here for resale because we have no paper trail of ownership. In my and Senator Hatcher's district alone, there were 80 stolen or abandoned boats in our rivers and lakes in 2025. That's just in this district. This bill seeks to change that by simply bringing boat ownership in Tennessee in line with how we already handle motor vehicles. As you know, motor vehicles have a title. Right now, Tennessee is one of very few states that does not require a title for boats. We only require registration. And that, of course, makes it much easier for stolen boats to be resold and for buyers to be defrauded. One case in particular was in West Tennessee. A dealer, believe it or not, was convicted of defrauding boat owners out of $660,000. So there is a need for this bill. So beginning July 1st, 2027, that's quite a ways away, boat owners will apply for a title through their county clerk using the process that mirrors what motor vehicles have right now. Existing boats, people who already own a boat will have 3 years to comply. So a generous time lapse there, giving owners plenty of time. The title will show ownership, vessel identification, any lenders or liens against that boat. This bill protects buyers, lenders, boat owners from fraud, which Tennessee doesn't want to be in the top 10 anymore. The fee is minimal. It mirrors, again, what we do for vehicles. A $20 fee for the title. If you buy a new car, you're going to pay probably more than that for a title on a vehicle. and a $5 fee for the county clerk. So it's $25, and which will eliminate the problem, hopefully help eliminate the problem of stolen boats in Tennessee. Part of the fee will help county clerks in their administration process. Much of the fee will also help TWRA in the removal of these abandoned boats and stolen boats that are left in our rivers and streams. It is quite costly, plus there's a problem with environmental damage. Makes it easier for law enforcement to track and recover the stolen boats, and it protects our lenders, it protects our insurers, and it helps TWRA, and most of all, it protects the boat owners. So I would ask for passage.
Thank you, Chairman Howe. Any questions or comments? This is much like a bill we had in full committee earlier. This is a bill that's been a long time coming as well. So I know you've worked in this space for quite some time. We'll open the board for a vote. All those in favor of House Bill 1754 as amended with two amendments that will remain separate, please vote yes. Any of those opposed, please vote no. Mr. Clerk, could you please announce the vote?
Mr. Chairman, you have 8 ayes, 0 noes.
House Bill 1754 receiving an affirmative vote will move forward to full transportation committee. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is the end of the calendar. We have several bills that were rolled, a few that were taken off notice, and I will remind folks that any bill to be placed on this committee for consideration needs to be done by the 3:30 deadline tomorrow, Wednesday. We will be publishing our last calendar, which will include all the bills that have been rolled. In addition, if there is a special calendar, that will be published as well for next week. Seeing no further business to come before this subcommittee, we are adjourned.